Hello and welcome to the Patreon preview of the live stream from last week. And if you already watched the previous video, you know that we're going to be looking at a commercial that was shot by a Patreon supporter. What happens is every week in these live streams, we do a breakdown of a listener submitted footage or listener project. We look at the lighting, we look at the lensing, we look at the team that they had and the amount of time that they had, and we talk about it for the benefit of the entire group. And the live streams are really fun. It's an extension of the podcast, Wandering DP podcast, that's been going now for 4 years or so. And the idea is to take some of your footage, learn from it, help the entire group. You can ask questions live and interact, and it's a lot of fun. And it's different than the podcast, but it's something that I think has paid dividends for the people in the group, so I'm excited about it. Hence, these little previews. So just to give you some context, we are inside of a gun range for this shot. It's sort of a dark and moody black and white commercial shot on the Red Dragon with Cooke S4 lenses, I believe. And that should give you enough context to see. Now, the live streams generally go from anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour every single week on Thursdays. And we'd love it if you could come out and participate, because the more people in there, the more people asking questions, the better the conversation gets and the more beneficial these things will be. So hopefully you enjoy this little preview. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter of the show, not only do you get access to all the live stream stuff going forward, you also get access to all of the exclusive content that we've done up to this point, all the podcasts, all the templates, all the PDF documents, all the everything. You get access to it instantaneously as soon as you become a supporter of the show. So cancel any time. It feels like I'm doing an infomercial, but I'm not. So hopefully you enjoy it, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side. This is where I wished we would have gone even, more so into this zone. This is the perfect opportunity to go into this zone. Set those blacks at the back if you want it to be black. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be black, because you don't want, I mean, this is a fucking huge portion of the image to be completely black, right? You want some black, but to go like completely black at the back, which I think is what you're going for here, not to have it completely black, because that is a giant chunk of the image. And you can do that, of course. It just, it can seem a little bit like a cover. Whereas here, if you just have some pops of light around, some highlights, then, you know, the extremes play even more so off of each other. So the darks will get darker as the highs get higher. That's what I would be going for in something like this. You got cool setup. You got these lines coming down here. You got her here, but just the flatness is it's all the same. Everything is the same here, except these two little hazy little lights that you've got coming. And that's like that sport commercial look that I was talking about before, where you get those two lines down the side. Then you've got some sort of eye light there. That's something there. I don't know if it's the camera monitor or something, or if you did that on purpose, but it's certainly there, that little eye light. I would just say, find some way. You got to get, if you're going for this look of just these two lines here, you got to get more contrast somewhere else in the image. You got to find a way to make this darker. Find a way to make all of this darker. Find a way to make her face darker. Do something just to try and, you know, this shot seems like you set it up. This is one of those shots where you set it up and you go, fucking hell, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good at this, right? I nailed this lighting. And then this one seems like one you just be fighting the whole time. Like, fuck, what are we going to do? We got this lady. It looks real gray. How do we make it darker? We don't have enough time. Let's just go. But to get there, just remember, you set these lights. If you don't have anything for the background, set the background first, and then set these lights to that background level. But don't do it the opposite, where you set up those lights and then you go, fuck, what about the background? You know, you got to set to what you can't control. And that's the main goal that we're going for here, is setting to what you can't control and then trying to make this look as good as you can. I know, you know, it is a bit of a shit show. Like, practicals do come. Practicals is almost the last one that comes with people and that comes with budget, is the ability to set stuff up that looks real. Because if you have, you know, two people in the lighting department, by the time you get these two lights set up, if you're shooting on any sort of normal schedule, by the time you get those two set up, it's like, fuck, we got to go. Like, setting up two lights takes a long time for two people, especially they got to move it from the car. They got to move it all around the set. They got to do this. They got to do that. Very little time to hang stuff in the background, unless, which also works for pre-production's sake, it seems like this entire ad is in the same location. It's in the same spot. You just say it to them. Okay, we know that this shot is coming up if it's 11 o'clock, and you know you're going to do this shot at 2 o'clock. We got this shot we're shooting this shot now. Okay, this is all good and set up. Let's take any light that we have that we can fucking tape up. And you guys, once we're going to do
you know, 4 or 5 takes of this. It's going to take us at least 10 minutes. You two guys or girls, go over to this next shot and start setting things up in the background. That's how you can start to maximize. If you don't have that much crew, is thinking ahead and going, okay, now, rather than sitting around on your asses doing fuck all, go over there and help us out by getting that thing started. Because if you get here and try and do it all while you're there, especially practical stuff in the background, you're going to run out of time so quick. It's not even going to be funny. So, Jamie, I appreciate you sending this stuff in, and a couple of really cool shots in there. And I think, you know, you set yourself up for a real big challenge with that black and white look. But in one location, I think really the practicals will help sell things more. And then just looking for opportunities to create that darkness, looking for opportunities to create that shape. This feels 3-dimensional. You know, this feels like you could almost reach inside the screen and touch this person, where this one feels like it just feels not as good, I think, is the operative word.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this week of our little Patreon preview snippet series. This is video number 2. Right? There should be a couple of these every single week moving forward. So if you like this kind of content, you can subscribe to the channel, or better yet, for if you want to participate in the conversation, it's, like I said, generally 45 to an hour long every single week on Thursdays. We do that live stream where we're asking questions, we're answering questions, we are looking at listener submitted projects. You can get your project featured, and hopefully it's beneficial. I think it has been for a lot of the Patreon supporters. So you can do that. WanderingDP.com is the website, or you can go to patreon.com/wanderingdp to sign up to become a Patreon supporter. And not only do you get access to all of the live streams going forward, but you also get instant access to all of the exclusive content that we've made up until this point. So everything we've produced, from exclusive podcasts, we've had PDFs, lighting documents, we've had templates for things like treatments and lookbooks. We've got a whole bunch of stuff up there that you get instant access to. It's been over a year now of the Patreon page, and I couldn't be more thankful for the support. It's made a lot of good things possible. Better guests on the show, better sound quality for the show, stuff like this YouTube channel, all made possible with Patreon support. So many thanks, and looking forward to what the future has to offer. All right, we'll see you in the next one.